Hey, all, Dave Korsunski here from Heads Up Health. It's a dark and stormy weekend here. We're in Long Beach, California. The weather's crazy, but we're indoors here at the Renaissance Marriott for Metabolic Health Summit 2019. Amazing speakers here. All of the superstars, the leading researchers are here to present the latest and greatest science. Heads Up Health is here as a sponsor with Keto Mojo. We launched our integration with the Keto Mojo, so we're upstairs showing people how they can use the Keto Mojo with Heads Up Health. There's a lot of really other cool companies here. We're going to interview as many of the experts as we can. So let's go inside and let's take a look. You killed it on our podcast.
Thank you.
Still our most popular downloaded episode for sure.
Really?
Everybody loves that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Whoa! My first blooper reel, man.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of these videos, I don't know, a dozen or something like that. So I feel like that was a milestone.
And we're back.
Yeah. Anyhow, if you didn't see our podcast with Shawn, it was awesome. We talked about nootropics. We talked about your top recommendations for supplements for just kicking more ass. We talked about psychedelics. Man, I can't even remember what else we got into there, but it was a good show.
Top labs to order.
Yeah.
Hemoglobin A1C and CRP.
Were those your top two?
Those are my top two.
Yeah. And you gave us a really good stack on that show that you recommended. So can you run through that for us again?
I don't know if I can remember that exact stack.
Well, we talked about Modafinil, we talked about berberine, we talked about CBD. So, like, if you were going to stack on a day where you're like, I want to focus, I got a clear calendar, I got to crush out some work, what would you personally go with? I'll share mine.
Yep. Noopept is actually one of my favorite race hams.
Yeah.
Provigil, Provigil.
Yep.
Definitely top nootropic.
Yep.
Curcumin, CBD for, I think neuroinflammation doesn't get, like, we look at systemic inflammation, but a big part of systemic inflammation is neuroinflammation. And
I just started taking curcumin because I got my nutrition genome report done. Mm-hmm. And I have a MAO mutation, which means I churn through serotonin and dopamine so fast that my body's always chasing more of it. So it's driving a reward-seeking behavior for me. Coffee, chocolate, crazy high-risk entrepreneurial shit that I do. And so then you can get your genomic report running, and you're like, sure enough, you're like over-processing that stuff. So curcumin was actually recommended to me.
Yeah, have you looked at Zembrin?
No.
As a cool ingredient for serotonin. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Nootropic-wise, serotonin-wise, and 5-HTP.
Yeah.
That might be something to look at. What else? I like creatine. Not just for your muscles, also for your brain.
Yeah.
It's been studied with traumatic brain injury. It's a great methylator to protect the brain. Along those lines, methylcobalamin, the methylated form of B12.
Do you use exogenous ketones?
Definitely use those. RBHB, the active isomer.
Yeah, so if I was going to wake up in the morning, my stack typically, I have some methylation issues. So for me, getting a folate in there, methylfolate, B complex, I'll take like the electrolyte water, and I'll put some creatine in there, and I'll put some exogenous ketones in there. I'll crush that. I'll take a good shot of Provigil, and then I'll get maybe a quad shot Americano, and put some good house music on, sit at my laptop, and that's when I'm like in the zone.
One more to mention.
CBD is in there too.
Yeah, CBD is a good one. You need a good choline source if you're going to be using raised hams.
I've been
and
told that,
nootropics.
okay.
You burn through choline because it's making acetylcholine. So you need to take a good choline. I like CDP choline or alpha GPC. I prefer alpha GPC.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
Okay. And so what are you working on right now? Tell us about some of the stuff you got in the hopper.
Patented novel ingredients, working on something unique along the muscle protein synthesis pathway.
Yep.
Energy ingredients. I think you guys know T-Cream was something I worked on with Dr. Hector Lopez and Dr. Tim Ziegenfuss, which has been a huge ingredient for us. Dynamine was the follow-up. Some really good ingredients there. And I've also been working on helping companies move to acquisition in the supplement space.
Cool.
And doing rebranding, scaling, all that kind of stuff.
Cool, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
So you get to come in from the outside, and because sometimes when you're so deep in a company, as I'm sure a lot of these founders are, it's just hard to come in from the outside perspective. And I know when people come into my business from the outside perspective, they can just immediately see things that you have some blind spots towards when you're so deep into the business.
100%.
So that's probably super interesting work.
Yeah, and it's I've been CSO for BioTrust as director of R&D at Dymatize, and worked with them on those projects of moving to acquisition. So
cool. Well, we still have to do our follow-up podcast where we're going to do Lab Wars.
Yes.
So let's make sure that we get to that like in the first quarter of 2019.
I'm getting that a lot of that work done within a week. So
all right.
We can go from there.
We're committing to doing that before the end of Q1, Lab Wars podcast with Shawn. Always great seeing you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.